When did you first start training with the martial arts? How old were you?
Well, martial art, in reality, I started with 12, but my father started to teach me box when I was a kid, 5 years old. But when I was young, we need to learn self-defense because where I live is very tough place, so I need to learn self-defense. So I started to train in martial art at 12 in reality.
What is the name of your school?
We call here Systema Vasiliev. It's a Russian martial arts school here in Brazil, and also Santos Aikikai, because I also teach Aikido, but not that much, but I teach once in a while Aikido too.
What kind of weapons do you work?
I work with all weapons because we learn how to defend and work with swords, spears, guns, knife, ropes, nagaika, whips. Everything, and with improvisation of weapons too.
What is the history appearance of your school?
My school, well, I started training martial arts normally, and the Russian martial art, by the way, was started by Vladimir Vasiliev in Toronto, and also Mikahil in Moscow. So I trained with both of them in Europe. Then I opened a school here in Brazil, more or less in 2003. And I became an instructor in 2008 of Russian martial arts. And when we started school officially in 2008. So now I'm starting teaching formally Russian martial arts.
How do you think? What is the basis of martial arts?
I think the main thing of martial arts is to start from the point A and reach the point B, whatever you want to see. What is this? Martial arts teach you how to deal with problems and solutions, and also goals, and where you want to be or where you want to go. And it's not only about how kick and punch, but how to develop yourself, physically, mentally, and spiritually. That's my goal for martial arts, or what I thought about martial arts.
How do you think that your school of knife training originated?
In my school, I think personally that in our school, martial arts come from the weapons. By the way, so most of the time we learn how to move ourselves as with weapons, shields, knife, swords, spears. All the time we move like we have this kind of weapons mostly. And so knife is the extension of the arm. So we train most of the time with knife because it's how our body moves properly. Let me talk. When people punch you, normally we don't care too much. We think, okay, if he punched me, no problem. I will feel pain, but it's no problem. So normally it's a lack of movement. You don't move correctly. So when there is a weapon in a situation, you don't think too much. You need to move yourself. So we work with knife mostly because people must learn how to move themselves. Then don't touch. Just move and start to realize that movement is good. So use a weapon as teachers of ourselves. How to move correctly, how to put the hand, how to raise the hand or lower the hand. Most of the time is about this, and how to proper posture, how you integrate posture and movement with the right position.
What is the difference between your school and from other schools?
Well, I think it's the model. I think it's the model mindset. Personally, our mindset is to create a good environment for the person to develop themselves. So that's the main difference. Because attacks and defense is, since human beings are all the same wherever you go, there's two arms, two legs. Most of the attacks will be close by. No problem if you are Japanese or Russian or Brazilian. Attacks come from the same direction. Other thing that I use is problem-based learning. is about people ask me some problem that they have. I try to show them how they solve with the correct tools. That's, I think, is the main difference, because I don't think about a standard. I should teach you number 1, number 2, number 3. Mostly I teach them how to move themselves properly, and they ask me the problems. I try to show them how to work properly, and this is a good difference, because I don't teach about techniques. I teach about principles, how principles works on that situation. Which principles are gravity, pendulum, speed, momentum, position, deflection. About this, not about how you should hold the hand and do such things.
Can you tell us more about principles by your school?
Well, in Systema Vasiliev, we work with 4 principles mostly: breathing, relaxation, movement, and posture. So we integrated this. First of all, we must learn how to breathe properly in all situations. When do you think something, your breath pattern change. When you face some situations, a happy situation, your breath pattern change. The same way, when you are in a fear situation or a stressful situation, your pattern changes also. So, and from that, your chemistry inside your body change, and your reactions also. So, first, you need to learn how to breathe properly in any kind of situation, or how you can match the situation with the breathing to, for example, you are too stressed and you breathe correctly, you lower a bit of the level of stress to do the right actions. Because when you breathe correctly, you have good thoughts, and you can thought clearly. When you are deprived of oxygen, you rush all the time. You need to be faster, because you know oxygen in your body, so they need a quick solution. Not all the time, quick solutions are the best. You need to analyze situation. Second, it's about relaxation. Relaxation is about adequate tones of muscles or of your body in some situation. People misunderstand the relaxation about be lazy or relax as in the beach. That's not the point. It's about not tense too much. Don't tense your body too much, because it's an optimal relaxation level. When your muscles must be in some tone that you can move correctly or speed. And this is how we work on the relaxation. Also, movement is how we work, how your body moves, and how you can move as natural as possible. How you move, or how you react. For example, if somebody goes towards you, probably you put the hand like this or like this. I don't know, because each people are different. But you raise your hand, no matter, because it is scared. So from this or whatever, you should to understand how you can move properly, how you can avoid the contact in the wrong position, or how you protect your body, because most of the organs are in the front. You need to change a bit. That is how you move properly. And also, we work a lot of walking. Walking is the main secret. You walking because this relax you, and also teach you how to attack or defend it, how if you walking properly. And posture is about mindset and body position. Your posture is how you stand in some situation. It's a posture. Not only how you stand on your feet, but how you stand inside. So this is the posture. This is the 4 pillars in the Systema. Posture for me is about how you stand in some situations, and then how you decide. So first of all is spiritual, how your goals, or how you protect something, or what you believe is how you stand, and how you answer, and then how you move or how you stay. Or it's not about it be seated or stand. It's about how you real posture inside. But even that, we learn how to fight in many positions because you need to find inside posture or some integrated posture or organized posture, and then seated, lie down on the floor, change position, stand or down, bend it, for learn how you can work on this bad positions.
How do you think is psychology important when we training with a knife?
Yeah, very important. Psychology is how we do with the world. So how your mind or your beliefs in the world. So it's very important. It's the first thing that we always talk in Systema, or in my school at least. Is about psychology, not only combat psychology, but also living psychology, because we are beings, we deal with each other. So the mind is very important. How you, I talk about self-talk and self-talk, because your thoughts create such a posture in your body. How you think reflects on how you work or how you move or talk. So we call the thought acts and posture acts. How you move is about how you think. It's connected. There is not some such thing. Mind in some point or in the body in another point. Something is all together. It's all in aligned. So normally I correct my students about how they talk about each other. When he started talking, I need to be faster to answer this. I say, no. It's not about be faster to move. It's about think different. So psychology is about also self-confidence. You need to, if you have a student that cannot answer something, you chop in small parts the task so they can create a good environment. Also, I taught them how to deal with failure. Sometimes they can do nothing and say, okay, it's important to realize sometimes you are not about to solve as moving, but you need to put yourself in some position that create the opportunity later. So psychology for me is also about deal with my own fears, how I talk to myself, how I is a self-talking, how I can talk to myself to create a good environment, how I move correctly. I can do this, I can solve this. It's about also create good answers, because we don't have all the answers for the world. But if you put your mind in the correct vibration, the answer comes to you. It's about, I think it is about this. Psychology is very important. You cannot separate it. Because people come from your school with the fear, for example. My father, he beat me, or my husband beat me, or something like that. And I need to create a good environment for the people realize that it's not a man thing. Is that person do wrong, and it's not your fault. But you need to say no longer. I need this, because sometimes things happen in our life to learn, for learning process, for learn objectives. So when you learn that, you don't need to suffer that more. So you need to quit. Okay, it's enough for me, and that's how I work with my students about psychology, how to deal with things, how to think correctly, because this creates a movement, a right movement. When you free your mind, you free your body.
How do you think why so many people today desire to learn knife?
Well, that is, I think, first of all, it's about collective dream. You know, people's watching the movies. A lot of people fighting knife is so good, and you kill the bad guy with knife, so it's cool. I think first problem is that one. Second is about our tradition. You know, it's in our blood, the knife. Because all culture there is a knife around. So when I was young, there's a chivalry night with all that weapon. I said, I want to learn that one. So too, this is another point. In my country, we have so we are a mix of culture. It's a big country. We have a lot of crimes. So you think you have a fear also, and, to be attacked. And here is very complicated. Weapon is a gun. Have a gun here in Brazil. You're not allowed to have a gun if you are not policeman or criminal. So you need to have something inside this. So most of the people want to learn about knife, but people sometimes forget about the law because I have a knife and I stab somebody, I can go to jail too. So sometimes I think it's a dream, but also it's important because it's a tool. You all day are here, you make barbecue, you have a knife, so something could happen in some social situation. So you need to defend yourself with a knife. So you should to learn. But most of the people, I think, come to the school, not my school, but for knife school, to learn how to fight with knife because it's so cool. I saw the movie, and I think as a teacher, we need to put us, oh man, look at knife fight. Sorry, knife fight is very ugly, dirty. It's not so nice. People will be killed or very hard wounded. So it's not a beautiful thing. It's not so chivalry thing. It's something how to defend yourself and kill somebody. Because when you are in a knife situation, it's not a winner. It's survivor. You survive a situation. It's not about win. It's not to be killed. It's not about win-loss relations. It's about survive or die. So it's different. You need to put in the self-defense this stuff. And of course, as a martial arts, you must deal with your reality. So there is a weapon, and there's no fair fight. If somebody comes to you, probably he have a knife. And so you need to deal with this reality. That's the reason that we taught about knife. But most of the people be too naive about knives. They like it, but they don't understand the level of what's happened really when you be stabbed or cut it.
Do you have your own methodology of teaching of knife? How does it look?
Yeah, I have a follow-up knife teaching. I use people grab the knife and see how they feel with the knives, with the hand they grab, and which position they think that is good for them, how to work with knives. Another day, base. We cut the knife and see, okay, I can cut things like this. And the difference that when you change the position for the normal position, when you grab like this, or eye speaker, in English, I think they call this, on how you feel when the people grab the knife like this or this, and how they feel. Then we touch the knife with myself and see how my body reacts, which point of the body creates different emotions or humor or something like inside me. How I feel when the knife touched me, then the tip of the knife, how I feel myself holding the hand. I do this with myself. I felt this knife in the neck. Then I realized the dangers that it create inside me. I say, oh, if I put the knife like this, I say, it's not good. So if I put like this, I say, oh, it's okay, not that bad. So I start to feel the knife. Then we start with another guy, do the same, touching the knife. Then you see the difference. You do yourself and somebody do at you. So, and then we start to poke with the knife, people. And they feel how the body react, or tense up, or scare, and then we start to push each other with the knife, with the tip of the knife. We push and see and create a way how your body will move really, not how you think. If somebody touch me with the knife, I will do that. This is a thought. In the fight, there is no time to talk that much. You need to know how your body reacts. So you start to touch each other and push. Then you move your body. Then I normally teach you how you move. Then you start to walk, and people poke to you, and you see how you move. I very aware about pocket because cuts is very nasty, but bleeding, this and that. But it's hard to kill people just cutting. It's very hard. So when you poke people, when you stop, that's very, very dangerous. That I always talk to my students about cutting is very scary, and most of martial arts show about cutting. But this is not that dangerous. Of course, it's dangerous, but it's not that. But when it stab you, this is very dangerous because it can reach an organ and you be killed. So I start to move how your body moves, how your legs start to move, or if you don't, your legs don't move. Then I start to taught them how they should to walk all the time, walk, walk, walk. When they learn this part of be touch and walk or move, I start to include the hands, how their hands come toward the knife, how they grab the knife, how they can put the hand or grab. If they are very tempted to grab, I say, no, don't grab. Try to just touch the hand and see how freely you are. And I start from this position, put the hand and then grab. Then I start to talk them about how to take the knife out of the hand of the attacker. I start to do this. Then I start to see, now you learn this, now you start to learn how to push the hand on your partner. Then the guy touch you with the knife, you move, you touch the hand. You start to touch the person to learn how to touch correctly, how your hand comes toward the person. So when you learn how to touch, I say, now you can grab, and then you can punch. And I start this. Then I start to increase the speed.
Okay.
That's the way that normally I start teaching knife. Then I start to classical. This attack like this, you can defend with this and this and this. Then when attack this way, you can defend this in this way. But all the time I taught them how allow their body to learn and solve for themselves. Not about how they solve, but how they feel the body movement and create a good situation. They understand how part of the body they can allow the knife touch without too much damage. So they start to learn how from touch, then grab, touch, movement, grab, breathe, and then start to defend itself. Then it strike back all the time because I don't believe and take the knife without answer back. It's a question. The person attacks you is a kind of question. You need to answer. They ask you something, you need to answer back.
Okay, thank you very much. I have another question. What kind of knives do you work?
Well, I work with most of the kind of knife, like the stiletto, because here in Brazil we have this long knife with tips, kind of stiletto. We call here faca de ponta. It's, in the north of Brazil and the south, we have a different kind of knife, and the daily basis knife, small knife, and also we have machetes here in Brazil, and so people fight in the countryside of the city. So you must learn how to defend against your machete. Then people like the carambit knife, it's a kind of claw knife, and cookie knife, a big knife. So I show them how to deal with the size of the knife, most of the shape of the knife, because different shapes there is different answer. And small knife, and they learn how to protect against the hand. The big knife, there is a lot of lever. So I work with most of kind of knife. I don't think that knife is more important to learn to defend or that another one. I think you must to learn the principles of the knife, lever, how to move your body, how to grab it, and then you learn how all kind. Because when you train with only one kind of knife, for example, I like karambit, the knife like this. I will train only with this. I defend this, and since I can. But when you fight against a guy with a big knife or machete, it's different distances. So you need to learn how to. You cannot reach it as easy. The people that is not that close. So you need to different movement, different reach. So I don't have create a preference or a habit of knife defense. I create a you see this knife is different, or if, and sometimes I want to work with the one guy with a small knife and another guy with a big knife, and they see how they defend it differently. They learn how to defend it because there is a different size about how we work with a big tool and a small tool. And also I talk about the psychology of the knife. And people with such kind of knife, there is a kind of mind. And so I try to teach my students how they can analyze the person, the psychology of the person with the kind of the knife that they hold, and also the knife, the size or the kind. There's a weight, a kind of weight in a knife, so they is properly or adequate for such kind of cuts. A big knife you can hit, but a small knife you need to cut. But then you need to be more quickly. So there is a difference in a fight. It depends of the size of your knife or kind of your knife. So you need to understand this, because some people that have a special kind of knife, they will fight in such way, in the determined way. So you need to understand this when you saw a fight. Of course, in a knife fight, when you saw the knife, it's good. It's really good, because normally the people don't show the knife. They just try to stab you in the real situation. They show you, when they show the knife, they want to threat you. So it's good, because you understand that they can ask something. In Brazil, normally when they show the knife, they want to rob you. So you'd have a question. Should I give my wallet? Or it's okay? Or you want to kill me? Different answers. So this is the way that we teach here. Different kind of knives, different kind of attacks.
Thank you very much. Could you share with us about your methodology of teaching how you work with a knife?
How I work with a knife?
Yes.
And how I teach?
How you teach?
How I teach? Well, first of all, I start to talk to my students about this, the legal problem. If they have a knife, if you carry a knife, your answer for any situation would be a homicide, because you have a knife. So, and in Brazil, if you stab somebody, if it's not for self-defense, you go to the jail. It's very complicated, the law here. It's very hard, the law for the civilians. For the criminal, it's okay. They do whatever they want. And also I talk about karma, about you want to really kill one person in your back. You have I wanted to kill somebody. I say, no, I don't want. I always talk about this, psychology, the feelings that they have, or when you cut somebody, because some people nowadays, they don't kill even a chicken. They have a fear of it. They go in the supermarket and they buy a chicken, least to eat. So I say, when I was a kid, we need to go in the garden or in the backyard and kill some animals. So you learn how to deal with this. It's different, the bleed, the smell. I say, when you stab somebody, there is a smell. It's not good. So I start to talk about this, for them to realize about the other side, the dark side or something like that, because this will happen if you're in a knife situation. But anyway, I start to show them how they can neutralize the person before they kill. How they can cut. If we are in a fight, how I can cut you without kill you. I can decide. I can cut your tendons of your hand, your knife falls, finish the fight. No longer need to kill you. Or stab your leg, then you bleed. I start to teach you how they use the strategy to knife, not only to kill each other. But then I start to show how they remove, how they answer back. And of course, the better way, I show them where they should to stop, to give where they should stop to have such answer. If you want to kill somebody, you need to stop that way. Because in the military, we learn how to kill. So it's different. But when I normally teach, as I told you before, I teach prison guards. So they they don't kill people. They defend against it. Today, 100 people was killed in the jail today in the prison because there's a strike in the prison today with knives. So they deal with this situation. So I need to teach them how to defend against this. And if they have a weapon, they can use it correctly. But they don't understand how to deal with that situation. For the people, normally people, regular people, I teach how to defend and how to use the knife. First, I think most important is the part of understanding where you step in. Knife word, how you step. Second, how to defend. Because this is legal. This is the right thing. Correct people want to defend themselves or defend the people that they love against aggressor. And third, in the last, I teach. Look, now we learn how to deal really with this situation. If you have no other option, you need to be quickly and precise. So I taught them, if you stop here, there's no back, no step back as the program, no finish. So I started it. Then we deal with knives, how to work knife against any weapon. If you have a gun, I have a knife, how to use. If you have a stick, I have a knife, how I use. If you have a spear and I have a knife, how I use. 1, 2, 3 person against one with knife, without knife. I start to change this environment for people understand that the hand and the knife is one thing. Just you move your hand, the knife will do the same job. That's the way that normally I teach my students how to deal with any situation against knife, with and without knife, and against any kind of weapon. Because of course, normally people think I have a knife and everybody will be without a weapon and I be win. And they say no. Normally it's opposite because you go in a wedding, for example, and when you leave the wedding, you are attacked with a knife. You don't carry a wife or a weapon to the wedding. So you need to realize this. This is the reality. It's not something that you choose. I will be with my weapon all the time. And it's not the truth because the weapon must be yourself, not something. The weapon is a tool. So you learn it. The artisan is you. So you need to learn how to work correctly with any weapon or any tool, and then you think if you have a weapon, okay. If you don't have, okay, too. You need to make a difference, but by the training, not by the weapon. It's not the weapon. The brain, the soul, the body, everything together. Not all. The tool is good. Because of course, if I want to fix my car, I need to understand about mechanics first, then which tool I use. So that's the way that I normally taught my classes, about mechanics first, then tools. That's the way. I don't know if I answered your question, but I think so.
How do you think? How many times need a person to become a master?
Well, it's a very different question. Become a master. Well, depends what you mean master. Master something. I think, personally, I don't think that you become a master doing something 3 times a week. First of all, people go to the gym and training 3 times a week and rest 4 times a week and they thought that they become a master. They need to dedicate their life for this. First of all, you dedicate your life for this. This is a master. Because the master is not a point to reach. Or it's a level. I don't know if the right. Mastering is a way to become. Then you don't stop in the master level, then you finish. You go forward. But you have some skills or some clues for mastering. You need to dedicate your life for the way that you decide, like an artisan. Painting, you need to painting differently first, different for everyone, and something creative on that art or that you choose. Martial art is mostly the same. You can do whatever everybody was doing, for example, knife defense or knife fighting, you can do, everyone do knife fighting. You need to have some creativity to do something different by your own. It's your own expression. When you start to express your own thoughts, feeling, and soul, that is a mastering, for my opinion. It's about this. And the timing about this. When you think about master the moves, or how many times I be good in knife, or mastering the knowledge of the knife, it's shorter, depends of the person. Some people dance better than another. Some people can be a good dancer, and few people become a Barishnikov. Mm-hmm. So, but everyone could be a dancer. I think that way. To master, you need to become a Marishnikov, not just dancing, but really dance well. In the martial arts, it's the same. And you must master the principles, have a creativity, have something that you gave to your students or for people around you that make difference, and also make for the society some difference. This is a master for me. Mm-hmm. And how long? I think to master the movement, if you have the right system or right methodology, I think 1 or 2 years is enough. You don't need to spend all your life learning the principles to understand something. It's something that is in martial art, you need to train in for all the life until you 4 years to become shiz, then 4 years to. This is not the point. If you put the right thing that you must to learn, they learn to master how to move correctly, how to defend, how to guard this, how to protect this. In 2 or 3 years, they become good. But depends also on the personal. Mm-hmm. How people dedicated their lives for that thing, that they decide to become a master. And some people will become master in martial art, and some people will not. And that's the reality. No, doesn't matter if your teacher is good enough. Mm-hmm. No way, some people don't. But there's no mean that he cannot master the movements. And they can defend themselves or learn how to defend properly or do the things that they ask for. But master is another level. It's something very long. And people nowadays, they dedicate for their career, so their work. Mm-hmm. 8, 10 hours for the work, 16 hours for the work, and they want to become a master in martial art. It's not possible. It's just too much time in one point and not in few time in another point. But they can become good. Or if they dedicate for this, like a lower or something like that, they become good. Master. It's about this. 2 years, 3 years for the master the movements, and then the life to become something different.
What is the perfect logical model of knife fighting?
The model? Yes. Well, there's a model for sure. All the knives. Well, you pick up the tool, the knife, and then you must understand which ways this tool could be used. First of all. Mm-hmm. So a knife, there's a part of a sharp part and another part that's not sharp. So you need to understand that part, the tip, and the sharp part is the danger area, and the other part is not that danger. Or if you have a knife with two sharp sides, it's different. So you need to understand the tool, how the tool works. Mm-hmm. So first is this first model that you must understand. Second is how you can grab, which position you can grab. You can grab as a sword, this way, that way, that way. Or if you put an opposite direction like this, how you can work. Then the body, the human body, how this amazing tool work. Which arm you can use, how your body could stab in this way, that way. So the people draw something like 8 cuts or 16 cuts, depends on the school, 84, 14, 33, 64. I don't know. Normally it's directions. It's about direction, angle and directions. So you understand this. It is the first model that you understand. How the tool work, how the body work. then is the system, how two people work together, how they move. We start to understand about distance and time. So this is another model. Then from this you start to work. Mind. Then is the brain. How the brain reacts on such stimulus. If you do something, people will react like that way, because we are compartment animals. We have a determined reaction for determined stimulus. Well, it's about 27 different reactions for the same stimulus, not 1,000 or 2,000. It's just 27. It's something very, not that much. But the combination of this is very much. But you understand how people react to such stimulus. So you can create that environment that people you stimulate to do that, and how people move. Then you can work with the principles like pendulum, gravity, tension reaction, time of reaction, vestibular system, how people balance themselves or unbalance themselves. Normally I use this kind of model. And also I pay attention on their goal, task. For example, for civilian people, I teach in such way because they can escape from the problem. For example, if I see a problem in the other side of the street, I don't cross looking for trouble. I just avoid or come back to my place or try to avoid. When you taught a policeman, you need to teach different. They must go where the problem is. So they need to understand how they approach, how they reach the point that they want, how they position themselves. So this is a model, how your body should to position it to defend against the knife. And the military, for the armies, is different. They don't care. If there is a two guys in a knife, they shoot both and it's okay. It's not. They know the different thought. So this model of mind must to be understood, and to create a good teaching model, understand how the tool works, how the body works, and how all together works. So I start to teach that way. I use that model. All the time I explain to my students about distance and the lines. I always tell them, there is a lot of lines around us. You need to understand this. And then we learn how to throw lines, you can create these lines for under them, outside them, and also how to create distraction. How your body should move in which way that the people don't react correctly, or how don't stimulate too much the people for they change their pattern, and also how to create a determined pattern for them. And for example, I can grab you quickly, you stress, you tense up. So I work with this small still time. I can work with this. So that is the model. I think it's more important to understand it. Work the tool and the environment, and also this is the important too. The environment where you are, because people forget around them. It is important because I can fight in different model. Because, for example, I cannot run or quickly or kick if I stay in my car, sit in my car and somebody attack me with a knife. So it's different model. Some principle is the same, but you cannot move the same way. Or if you are in an elevator, inside the elevator, and somebody attacks you, you need to understand. Or in a stair, you are in downstairs or upstairs, and you need to understand the difference. It's not a gym. People normally train in a gym with a huge place without anything around them, and so it's quite. They can move in wherever the way. They don't step in anything. But in real life, we are in the road. You can step on the snow, on the border of the corner of the street, and everything, and the whole in the scan or something, glasses, and also. When you realize about the environment, you fight it different in a freezing place or in a hot place. Like here in Brazil, Only the south we have a bit snow, but most of the time it's very hot. So you need to understand how you work with this heated place or cold place or underwater or for outside the water. This environment is very important. And also your mood, this model of mood. Sometimes you are sick or hurt, you are handicapped, you cannot use your hand, or you are hold your bag with the goods that you buy, or you carry a kid in your lap and you need to defend yourself. It's different. You cannot throw the kid in the guy. You can hold and protect with only one hand. So we train in this model also, when one part of the body is not working well. So this is the most of my thought about model. How you think, how you work with the tools, environment, all these things together. It's a variables, a lot of variables.
And I have also a question. What is a knife for you?
Well, it's a tool. Just I don't think. Of course, I have a lot of types of knife. I like a knife. I think is the oldest tool in the in the world, so I like it very much. But I'm not fellowship of knife. I don't know what's the name. I think it's a tool, and as a tool can do good things or bad things. I think always to protect myself and what I believe. It's not about hurt people, but you have as a tool. You need to have the understanding how to use. I don't have this charm for knife. People have. Okay, it's a knife. I like it. It's a pretty knife, not a fancy knife. But I think always that it's a good knife. I can work hard with hair. I can cut or chopping, whatever. This is a good knife. Or it's a fancy knife with screws or stones, something like this. I say, oh, it's not good. It's not about the beauty of the knife, but how it's made and what's made for. If it works for me, because it's different. Because if you have a knife to work, it's different than a knife to kill people. And I don't want to think about this, but all knives can kill. So knife is very important, as I told you, to understand the behavior. So my behavior and the other behavior. When I have a knife and I cut in the table my meat, nobody's scared. But if I hide the knife and point to somebody, change everything. But it's the same position. I'm doing the same, but change everything. It's not by the tool itself, but the mind, this threat, everything changed. So understand this, and also our ancestors are killed for 100 years people. So there is something inside us that understands the threat of the knife could be, and also how good have a knife in any place. You are in the dark alley, walking alone with a knife is different. When you without the knife, you say, "Oh man, something could happen." Everyone stop like this. Could be thought like this. Or if you have a knife, you say, "Okay, I'm not safe." That's not the truth. It's not. If you have the good mindset, whatever you have, you can be safe. But of course, it's better with a knife. If you're in the jungle here in Brazil, and if you are lost, it's better you have a knife. It works better. So that's the thing that I have about my thoughts about knife. It's a tool, and you must learn how to work good with that.
Okay, thank you. And I have a last question. What you can tell us to our watchers in the end of program?
First of all, thank you very much, Elizabeth, to invite me to be here, and Mr. Oleg for all the thoughts that they gave to us in this year and last years. First, they must understand that we are not here to create more violence. We are here to understand the violence. You should understand there is very, very bad people outside. The monster are the human beings doing bad things. It's not there is not such thing. And since then, we need to understand how to deal with this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone's good. Some people are not good at all. So you need to understand this and to protect yourselves, because that's the rule of the warrior. A good warrior protect. It's not about kill or hurt people. It's about protect all the time. You need to have this goal in your mind. When you pray all the time, you need to understand this. My goal is to protect this world. Mm-hmm. Make this world is a bad place. And that's the point. And as martial arts, we need to understand this. It's not about hurt people or teach people to hurt each other. It's about heal people from the fear, from the lack of self-confidence. This is our role as martial arts or human beings. Mm-hmm. I think this is my thinking. Be yourself good, protect the people around you, teach them to become good, and create a good place and protect around. That's my